Valentine's edition, we are going to talk about learning to love lowballers, and that's lowball offers. I think we have to start at the beginning and understand the definition of a lowball offer. And then we can talk about what to do with it. Well, a lowball offer is only determined by the listing agent. That's right, nobody else gets to decide whether it's a lowball or not. And the reason I say that is because the real definition of a lowball offer is classified as the difference between the real value of the property and what's written on that piece of paper. So in other words, if in fact the offer is close to what the listing realtor believes the actual value to be, doesn't matter how much lower it is than the asking price, it's not a lowball. But if the value is much higher than what's on that piece of paper, then it's up to you as the listing agent to determine that and to act accordingly. So let's talk about how to deal with it. So let's say that in fact it is a lowball offer. Well, and of course that's based on the fact that it's not worth, or it's actually worth much more than what the offer has been written at. Well, if that's the case, the most important thing for you to do is to remember that the messenger always takes the brunt of the bad news. So don't be a messenger. Decide, yes, it's a lowball offer, and when you go and present to your seller, you need to let your seller know that you are not going to try to convince him to do something that you know yourself is incorrect. Because if you do, you will lose credibility and you will lose his trust. And that is not the position you want to be in. So you have a real lowball offer, you take it in, you sit down with the seller, and you start off by saying, we both know this isn't acceptable, and move forward from there. Okay, so let's say that it's the second scenario where, well, it's a lot less than what the asking price is, but it's very close to what the value is. Well, now you have to bridge that gap between not getting your seller upset with you and trying to create a sale for them at the same time. So what do? Number one, prepare yourself. You probably had comparables, you had a CMA that you had done in the past. Do not go to that house without current sales so that you can show that value is real. Do not go to that house without a complete report on all of your marketing so that you can show the seller that you haven't been sitting around and that in fact what's in front of him is something that he needs to deal with. In all cases, the worst reaction that you would like from your seller would be a counter of some kind. Try not to allow him to just reject it because it's too far away from his asking price. Of course, in the end, it's your seller's decision. So you do want to temper what you're saying and make sure that they understand that you're looking out for their best interests. And it's never a waste of time dealing with an offer, whether it's a lowball or just a perceived lowball. At the end of the day, it's part of what we do, and we really don't know what the outcome is going to be, although we're pretty sure most of the time. But in any case, remember, you determine, the listing agent determines what a lowball offer is. And once you do, you decide what actions you're going to take, whether it's a real lowball offer or in fact it is closer to what the perceived value is. Once again, make our team your team.